The following is a conversation with Janu. He's a brilliant entrepreneur. He managed to scale his MVP agency to 15K a month while he was working at his day job. We talked all about how to do agency work, how to get clients, and everything agency related. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you don't miss any episodes. If you like this episode, please like it and share it with a friend. All right, let's jump in.
Hey John, welcome to the pod.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, good. You have a day job and you also have an agency where you help people get to their MVP in 3 weeks, I think.
Well,
Um, so first of all, can you give us some background on this?
yeah. First of all, I'm still in my day job. I'm right now in the process of leaving it. End of the year, I will be out. I work as a product manager for a analytics SaaS company. And this year, I started my agency, beginning of this year. I started it last year, but seriously this year. And it picked really up like in spring, summer. And then it got a lot. It was like I had two full-time jobs. And yeah, now I'm in the process of leaving leaving the day job. And next year I will be a full-time founder.
Cool, cool. That's exciting, I guess.
It is, yeah. It's very exciting. A little bit scary, but also exciting.
Yeah. Can you share how did you basically got started on this entrepreneur journey?
Sure. When I was a student, I studied computer science. I had a student job, and like everywhere else too, it's non-well paid, right? Like student jobs are like, yeah, slave jobs. And then I started freelancing on the side because I had like software development skills. I'm like coding since I'm a child. So it was like very obvious step to do. And very fast I realized, oh, I can earn way more money and provide way more value with freelancing gigs on the side than with my actual student job. And yeah, that's something I did. And then this year I had the idea, like I saw a lot of projects which required more than one person. Um, they 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 wanted a product person, a designer, a developer, some projects even multiple developers if it's like a more complex product. And I thought it would be a fun challenge to to get some freelancers and to build a team, cross-functional team, and to deliver like bigger projects. And I did a project like that. And then it was the logical next step to build an agency around this offer, this service. And that's something I did end of last year. And then it took a while until I got like my first serious clients. And yeah, that was like the journey to starting Featherflow.
Cool. And I guess as a reference, Featherflow is your agency, right?
Exactly, yeah, like the MVP consultancy agency. Yeah.
Cool. Um, what's kind of interesting for me is that how did you manage to um scale this agency to I think you said at some point 15K a month. How
Uh-huh.
did you manage to scale it, especially given that you're working full time?
Mhm. In the beginning, I tried a lot of the classic things like outreach, like classic sales, but I'm not experienced in sales. I have like no experience in sales at all. So it didn't work out that well, but it was a skill issue, obviously. And then I'm a lot on Twitter, on social media, on different channels, talking about stuff I find interesting. And like, especially this year, my account grew a lot. And I think in spring, in spring, I had a viral tweet and it got a lot of attention to me. And that helped me getting my first clients. So all my clients were like inbound, have like they just see me somewhere, book a call on our website, and then we talk. And that's like the process of getting clients. So I didn't do any marketing, or my marketing is like having my link in my bio and sometimes plugging the link somewhere. But that's it. Um, it's hard to tell like how much is luck, how much is like systematic. And so the next steps would be like to professionalize the sales process, getting a proper sales pipeline, and figuring out my ICP and all that boring stuff, which has to be if you want to have a proper business long term and to make the income more predictable.
Was there any like particular reason why you chose your agency to focus on getting MVP out?
It was just a skill match. Like MVP is something I like. This is like the process of a product I'm more experienced in. I built a lot of MVPs in my life for startups, even for friends, for myself. So I'm very experienced with like the getting stuff from 0 to 1. And I'm not experienced in getting developers or teams into bigger teams which already exist, or fixing projects which are already out there for years and fixing technical debt. That's not stuff I'm experienced with. So I just focused on creating an offer which makes sense for my skills, for the people around me.
Mm-hmm. So I guess my other question is, what I've seen a bunch of other agencies that focus on MVPs. What do you think sets you apart from them?
It depends on who are you talking about, right? Like there are MVP agencies who have a very similar offer and very similar experience like us. But I also saw a lot of MVP agencies, especially from like more unexperienced people who have like classic. It's like very classic people who start offering a service business. They try to differentiate by price, right? Like that's also something I did when I was a freelancer at the beginning. And but if you pay cheap, you will get cheap. And like we are not just building your MVP, we consult. That's very important to understand. Like people who come to us are not like just some people who are playing around and are experimenting. Like those are serious business people who already have a business, mostly like service-based businesses, or like at least non-software businesses. And now they try to add a software product into their ecosystem, which they can sell to their clients. And we're consulting them in product. Like I'm a product manager. I worked as a product consultant before. I have a lot of experience in building and scoping products, and also the business side of things. Like not everyone, but almost everyone in our core team is also entrepreneur. Like they have entrepreneurial mindset. So we understand the product. We are not people who get like software requirements and we are programming. We have a process of exploring the product together with the client and building something which makes sense for the client and for the target group.
Cool, awesome. So this is I've had an agency a couple years ago, and one of the things that are, I think, kind of difficult is that there are periods when there are no clients, you don't have any projects, and then there are periods where like multiple clients reach out. Especially when and that becomes challenging, right? Because you have some staff, you have members on your team that depend on you. So, and especially that your MVP agency, Featherflow, you promise 21-day delivery to the clients. Like what happens when, like, first of all, like how do you manage like hiring in some sense? Or maybe I'm guessing like it's mostly, people who and trust you. You didn't like officially hire them. But also like what do you have any plans on like how to manage if multiple clients reached out?
Yeah, that's something I think a lot about. Especially we had issues this year with like growth, especially in summer. It was very fast and very new. We grew like from 3K a month, one small client to big clients, and that got very stressful. I even was in the process of hiring a project manager. I didn't hire a project manager. Right now I have like a core team. Like I have one core developer who's like working almost full time for me. And I have like two other guys who are like friends of mine, like personal friends, who also have a technical background. They act like as a consultant, software architecture, stuff like that. And everyone else are like on freelance base. Like I hire them project based. I have a network I gained during my freelancer times. So I know people who are like specialists in specific things. For example, when a client wants a iOS mobile app, we don't have any iOS mobile expert in our team core, but we are scoping the product and everything else. And then I hire a iOS specialist I know and I trust, and they join us for this project. And in the future, it's something I will have to think about what I will do when we get multiple clients. Right now, I learned to say, hey, right now we are booked out. In 2 months, there's a spot. Let's do it there. And when they tell no, we need it now, I will refer them to other agencies I appreciate. It's more important for me right now to deliver very good results and products and getting like testimonials and like word of mouth instead of growing like crazy. I did this summer and it was a disaster. It was very hard to manage, especially with a day job. I didn't sleep and I worked like 100 hours at some weeks. It was very unhealthy and it wasn't also beneficial for everyone else. So that's my approach right now.
Yeah. I guess it's a challenging. It's really challenging. But yeah, you seem to be doing a very good job. So that's cool.
Thank you.
So can you walk me through the process of like going from idea to MVP? Because you've experienced this, right? A lot. So what is your approach?
It depends on how far the client is. Sometimes clients come to us and they have just an idea, like very just an idea, and no idea about the product. Then more work is required. Then we do a lot of design work, classic UX discovery, stuff like that. Sometimes clients come to us and they already have UIs, and then we do a little bit of retouching and consulting about how we could do it better or if it's enough. So it depends on how far the client is. And a very important part of discovery is research. Often clients come to us with very complex problems we have no idea about. For example, we had a client this year who was planning to build a Bluetooth-based mobile app. And I hired a Bluetooth mobile app specialist, like for Bluetooth beacons. But we still had to do a lot of research about how the different ecosystems of the mobile phones, the iOS ecosystem, the Android ecosystem, the permissions we need, and there was a lot of research involved. That's something which is very important. We had not the dream client is they come to us with a simple web application idea, and we can build it like very productized and with like very simple database scheme. But for some reason, all our clients come to us for very complex products. So a lot of research and development, and that's something also we struggled with, like how to sell it, how to sell the research part and stuff like that. But that's probably the most important part of the beginning of building an MVP.
Cool. Yeah, awesome, man. So let's talk a little bit about freelancing. So you mentioned you start off your career with freelancing. Actually, like on the side of your student job. One thing that I've noticed when like people want to do freelancing is like, at least like when I think about freelancing, my go-to website is like Upwork and Fiverr. And to me, it seems like those websites, for you to be able to basically land a project or like be able to do something there, you have to start with very low ball offers and then build your profile eventually on that platform. So one thing I've noticed is that if you can have a really good profile on Upwork, but if you don't have anything to show in like other places, it's a bit difficult. It's a bit more difficult to get land projects on those platforms. So what are your thoughts on that? Like how do you do freelancing? How do you land clients?
I agree with you. Like, especially when you live in a first world country, like I think you live in Canada, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and live in Germany, it's very hard to compete on price against people like from Asia or from Africa. So a lot of people ask me, like, I want to start freelancing, how should I start? And I still recommend Upwork for the first project or for the first two projects, just to get a feel how to manage clients, how to talk to them, just to get experience. But after that, I would recommend to leave Upwork because there are good projects. Like, it's not like there's like no good projects, but they are like very hard to get. They're like very big clients on Upwork who hire like big agencies, and there are a lot of low projects with like low price projects and people who are very cheap. And I had a lot of bad experience on Upwork, but Upwork really helped me getting into business. Like I got a few clients in the beginning. Like the first client was a client who paid me, I think, €100 or something to build a Python script. But I was just happy to earn money on the side. And then I get my second client on Upwork, third clients, all like very low priced projects. And then I got a client who was more interesting and he had a very specific problem and I was able to solve. And then it got a long-term contract type of thing. He still contacts me sometimes when he need like stuff. And then he introed me to other people, and that's like how I started growing my personal network. So you can build a network everywhere where people, like everywhere where are business people, you can build a network on LinkedIn, on Upwork, on Twitter, even on, I know people who build like serious agencies only with Reddit. So they're like people everywhere. It's all about getting in contact with them and get your stuff and get yourself in front of them.
Yeah, that's some awesome insight. Yeah, it makes sense. It's like you have to like get started on those platforms and then eventually move out, I guess.
Yeah. You have to start somewhere, right? Like with
Yeah.
everything else too.
Yeah, that's true. Do you have any like cool case studies with on like projects that you've accomplished in your agency with clients and the results that it got?
Yeah, like my one of my private projects this year was accountable driving. This is the mobile app I talked about because it was very challenging to build because it's not something you can look up how to build this kind of app. It's very non-traditional, and it's a mobile app which tracks your phone time while you are driving. So and the initial idea was different. The initial idea was for parents who have children with a car license, and the idea was to give these children like pocket money, I don't know, $100 a month, and every time he uses the phone while driving, he gets less. So that was the first idea, like a punishment type of system, and we consulted and recommended to make a pivot and do it less bloated, like to focus on the core idea. Are people interested in seeing their statistics about how often they are driving, looking on their phone while driving? So we scoped it down and built this app for iOS and Android. And basically it works with a Bluetooth beacon, which you have in your car. And every time you enter your car, your phone knows, okay, now he's in his car. And from now on, every time it's like over 5 miles per hour, or I don't know, I don't know American units, but like more than, I think it was like 10 kilometer per hour, we are tracking the screen. And every time he looks at the screen or opens the screen, we are tracking it. And end of every day, he gets like a report and everything. We built a beautiful dashboard for web, and still very family based. So they're like family discounts and stuff like that. And yeah, it was very difficult to build, but it also was very interesting, and we are very proud that we managed to build it. Especially for iOS, it was a very pain in the ass to build for iOS because they have very restricted ecosystem, and yeah, but it was fun, and we learned a lot.
Yeah, this is one of those projects that are not, as you said, in some sense, it's not your ideal customer, in a sense that, you just easily build a web app and all that, but it's fun. It's
Yeah.
interesting and new. Yeah. So a lot of people that, they want to step into the entrepreneurship journey and want to make money, a lot of them don't do like service-based businesses or agencies. They just create a product, a SaaS or, something like that. Have you given thought to this, that, maybe like, maybe not do agency work, maybe just focus on, like, especially with you, like, you have this experience of getting from idea to MVP. So why not just building a product and make a living out of it?
Sure, that's something I think about every day, right? For example, I have this website called Boilerplate Hub. It's a directory of SaaS boilerplates. And I also spend a fraction of my time for this project. It's a very simple website directory, but I put a lot of thought and effort into the site. It makes a little bit money. For the last 3-4 weeks, it made like almost $1,000, which is a lot for a side project and for me. And I learned a lot of stuff which I didn't know before. Like, I had no experience in SEO, in like doing proper marketing, in positioning, even a little bit of strategy. And these are things I don't learn in my agency or by building MVPs for other people. So there are a lot of skills involved building a SaaS company, which I don't have, or which are on a low level right now. But building a SaaS is something I'm planning. I already built a lot of SaaS products for me, but I killed it immediately. And right now there are like 1 or 2 projects in building, but I try to focus on my agency right now, because you also learn stuff. It's important to get a network, especially if you want to build a B2B SaaS, and it's important to not. You shouldn't hop too fast on an idea you have. Especially for people like us, like entrepreneurs, we're like very creative, and we have like 100 ideas a day. And the agency is working. It helps a lot of people. It helps me. And in the future, I'm planning to build an own product. Right now, I'm focusing also on Boilerplate Hub. It's a very nice way to learn skills which I will need to market a SaaS. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah. That makes total sense to me.
And then another thing, I think it's more about building assets, right? Like, this website is now an asset. It makes money without, like, while I'm sleeping. Like, I wake
Yeah.
up, oh fuck, there's an email on you made a new affiliate sale. It's very addictive. That's not something you have when you have an agency, because you have to do sales, and you have sometimes multiple calls until the client says, okay, now I'm paying. And that's another type of happiness, when you get an email while you are sleeping or while you are outside.
Yeah, there's this meme that I've seen on X. It's like, you make like 10K a month on your day job, but you make like $10 sale on one of your products. Is like, wow, that's much better.
You should have seen me, like, in the last weeks, like the month before, Boilerplate have made $0. So it's very unpredictable. Then I did a little bit marketing on Reddit, especially. I made like posts and stuff like that, and like sneaky stuff like commenting on other Reddit posts which are ranked high on Google, a little bit of SEO, curating Black Friday deals, and bam, it made almost $1,000 and 2 sponsors. And it was like I was in a rush, like, because agency work can be boring sometimes. You have to do like very traditional work, traditional consulting and research. And this is like very exciting to have such a high ROI on like writing a Reddit post, and you make like a few $100 on it. It does something with your brain.
Yeah, yeah, I would imagine so. Um, so how do you, so do you have this process of going from idea to MVP in 3 weeks? Where does the client feedback come in? So how do you handle revisions or times when you maybe have like maybe you don't agree with the feedback that the client is giving to you and all that? How do you manage that?
When we have the goal with the client is to keep him long term. Like we don't only want to consult and build the MVP, we also want to be your product/dev team in the future. So we are offering this MVP package, and we're offering like an ongoing kind of deal. Depends on how many people you need for this project. And especially in the MVP phase, it's very important to lock the scope. So we are doing a lot of research and consulting before we put on a contract with a very locked scope. These are the features we will build. These are like the sketches or UIs where we designed, and we will build this UIs and no more. And that's hard to understand for some clients. Then within in the process, they get new ideas and they're like, "Hey, can we build this too?" And then you have to say, yes, we can build it, but after we finish the MVP, it's something write it up. We have a Trello board where you can put all your ideas, and then we will build it later. So that's something which is important and can be very annoying. That's a reason why I thought sometimes to switch to an hourly based offering, but right now we have like this fixed fee kind of stuff. And feedback, yeah. Sometimes you get feedback you don't like. It depends on the feedback. Like especially for design, there's a lot of feedback which is taste based. That's fine. Like if you don't like some taste, we can switch it up. But sometimes we already did something we agreed on, and now you are changing your mind. That's okay if we're working on an hourly base or like on a monthly based contract, but that's hard if we have like a fixed scope. That's like the downside of having this kind of offer we are offering.
Yeah. Yeah, it's also weird, like, cause in, let's say you do a design for them, and then like it's not like as you said, it might be just a difference in taste, and so you have to change it. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Do you have any advice on like growing your following or on X, or maybe following and also maybe just basically doing marketing for your service or product on X?
Growing a following, is it's the same process. Like you get more popular, right? Like you get more followers, you get more popular, more people are following your stuff, more people are invested in you, are interested in your stuff. And it's the same thing like in real life. Like imagine you are in in a club or in some place where people are, and you try to get the interest of the people. And it's the same thing. You are sharing things which other people are interested in. You are social. You are engaging with them. You are interested in them. So I like in the beginning when I was on X, I was very focused on getting more followers and gaining more followers. And at some point, you realize that's not the most beneficial thing for your business. That was like the second part of your question. It's you want to get the right people in your following, right? Like people who are impactful, people who are interesting, people who can have a network by their own. And so network is more important than following. And just put out stuff you are interested in and you think other people would find interesting, and interact with other people who you find interesting. Like when I see someone on my timeline who does very interesting stuff or does stuff I want to do, or I just message him. Like I slide in his DMs, I give him a compliment, I talk with him, and sometimes I even invite them for a meeting. I do a lot of meets with like entrepreneurs and indie hackers, indie founders, and that's way more valuable for everyone than just trying to be a influencer.
Yeah, that's also kind of been my experience as well. Um, do you want to share maybe some of the challenges that you faced with uh, boilerplate hub?
Mhm. Like growing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's first of all, I had not experience in I had experience in building a website like from a technical standpoint, but not like from the marketing standpoint. And one issue I still have is figuring out um, who are the persons I should market to and which are the channels which work, because everything is like affiliate based. I don't sell my own boilerplates. I curate boilerplates which are out there and are like in high end quality. And um, what like I have experience in analytics, but for example, Lemon Squeezy is like an provider a lot of people use, and they have like their own affiliate system, and you can't track like customer journeys and stuff like that with that kind of system. And the sale is happening on other websites, on the websites of the boilerplate companies, and not on our side. So it's very hard to figure out which of my marketing efforts worked and which didn't work. Sometimes it's possible. There are like affiliate systems which give you at least the first touch point. They tell you, okay, on this day, the person visited your website the first time and got the affiliate cookie. That's very helpful. But the biggest provider, which is Lemon Squeezy, that's like the most used one, they don't offer it. So it's very tricky. But yeah, you can do like a little bit of statistical stuff to figure out some stuff. But that's like probably the most difficult thing about growing a directory, which is based on affiliate sales.
Yeah, that seems difficult because you might have actually been successful in, redirecting a lot of people to some nice boilerplates, but because their thing was hosted on Lemon Squeezy, you couldn't track. I've also noticed when people want to submit their boilerplate, you tell them which tool to use to track affiliate.
No, you can use whatever affiliate system you want, but a lot of people ask me for recommendations, so I
Oh,
just put
okay.
one. So yeah, it's just a recommendation for Stripe users because Stripe doesn't have an in-house affiliate system. Lemon Squeezy has, so it's just a recommendation. But you can use whatever affiliate system you want to. There are so many out there, and I have to overview them all. But yeah.
Okay, I see. So it's a kind of a manual process for you, right? You have to just see if that affiliate system work.
Well, I have to apply for an affiliate link. Then I have to save it up in some Excel sheet, and I have to check like 30 different sites to see like my revenue, which is very annoying. That's maybe a sales idea for someone out there to aggregate them. But yeah, that's the process right now. It's very manual.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Um, just wrapping it up, do you have any advice for like agency owners, people who have especially like service-based businesses like yours?
Um, like my experience is like very on inbound sales, and inbound sales are nice because they are all like they know your pricing, they know your offer, and they still come to you. So they are very interested. So, and I think a lot of agencies are focusing on outbound because that's like very systematic and it's better to predict. And that's also something I want to do. But more agencies probably should create content, be out there, show their work. And I like everything around founder-led marketing. So if you're an agency founder, you should put yourself out there, talk about stuff you find interesting, especially like whatever you are offering as a service. And attention is worth a lot. So if you are able to get attention on yourself, you will get attention on your agency, and that can be very valuable. But I also understand that we only have like 24 hours a day. So yeah, everyone has to figure out how much time they want to spend on creating content.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Just it's a war on attention. especially for, I guess, service-based businesses. Yeah. Um, all right, cool, man. Thanks for coming to the pod. It's been an absolute pleasure just like going through all these items with you. These were just my questions and I think a lot of people's questions.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, man. My pleasure. Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.